May they experience happiness, be separate from suffering, and save their ways to reach them. Suffering and save their ways to reach them in the state of one's perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All mothers and beings, especially those enemies who hate separate from sorry about our lost connections. Dalla damvara zebe dra, nobara zebe ge, darba dam dam jen jen, barda ju bara zeba dam je je, zo zebe mananga dam yambe zem jen dam, dewa dam den, dongara dam dara, yorda lana me bayan dam, zobe sanjo rumbo je do bara za. Thus, unto achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and the mind. We take refuge in the Khandaru Lama and the lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deity of the Mandalas or Yadams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in the noble Dakas, Dakinis, and the Dhamma Gade, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the example of Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embodied enlightenment and the progress on the Bodhisattva's path, are true for the benefit of all sentient beings giving birth to Bodhicitta, and applying myself to a complete stage of the path. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and the other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separate from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May the rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. We skip the 7 lamp prayer. The ground is sprinkling with the scented water and stirred with the flowers. It is adorned with the Meru, the spirit mountain, the 4 continents, the sun and the moon. As Buddha fair I offer it, may all sentient beings attain the happiness as the Buddha fares. To the Lama who possesses the three kayas, I offer altar inner and sacred offerings, with my body, word, and all that is visible. Please grant me the supreme realization and enlightenment. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of enlightenment of all sentient beings, all these are dedicated. Om Guru Rina Mandala Pinza Manga Samanda Savarena Samaya Ahom. I equal refuge, ornament of the world. Your fame provides the 3,000 worlds. You are the victor Vajjadara Vido adopt. I bow at the feet of Father Jyoti Songong. Continue nothing with no one but you. Compassion one grant your blessings. Dispel darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize the unliberated nature of the mind. Please turn the way of the Dharma of the two-way hackers and the combination according to disposition and likewise the mental capacity of sentient beings. His wisdom is burning like the sun, free of clouds of two words, and perceive the various steps of knowledge in the true nature. For this reason, he holds the wisdom text at his heart. He has a compassion for all beings who are suffering from the darkness of ignorance and the prison of samsara as a father for only son. Like a thunderclap, he awakens those who are sleeping in ignorance and losing of charm of karma. Through the 60 branch of Haramani speech, he wears the wisdom silver to cast sadness of suffering and to dispel darkness of confusion. In the Bodhisattva form, he is pure from beginningless time. Fully accomplished in the 10 levels and perfect in the body of all knowledge, are supplicated you magician adorned by the 112 Sun Buddha to dispel darkness of my ignorance. Om Arabazana de 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 Om Arabazana. Om Arabazana de 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 no Arabazana de Arabazana no Arabazana de Arabazana de Arabazana de Arabazana de Wangisharamo 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 Wangisharamo. You who are the perfect youthful body whose flame of wisdom blesses and dispel darkness of worldly ignorance are posted before you and pressed to Manjushri. Yuna Galen Jangwa Bo Yishe Dume Rabdamba Jidin the Moment Sarwan Jambara Yang La Zanzer Do Damge Duje Jajarazan Don Jinja Mado Deja Bunja Serja Lambo Tawar Jipaga Jaja Jarbe Jalai Guzanzer Dorjen Janji Telo Naro Damar Bai Malai Jija Rambo Baba Moja Bai Jarwai Digon Kaju Lama Namlai Zorwan Derom Jija Yenja Bodan Tezom Sanje Genja Ngovo Nye Ransen Jiga Ngozon Donze Sawe Lame Jala Guzanze. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone again. So today I'm going to share with you Vipassana teaching. So everyone has this text, right? It's from stage of meditation. We have a Chinese translation, right? Shirab, do you have?
Yes. Yes, he has Kempo.
Okay. So you all have the copy, right? I mean the text. you all have, so I'm not going to share the screen. Okay, I think everyone has lost light. So then go to the text, how to meditate on Vipassana. So this both I'm going to share from the stage of meditation. So this has many chapters. So this is the chapter 5. Last 2 weeks ago, I already shared shamatha meditation. So now going to the Vipassana meditation. So Vipassana meditation is called seeing beyond. And also with Tibetan called Lamtong. So seeing beyond means, not conceptually seeing. So beyond the conceptual mind. So that's called the, Vipassana means. Sometimes we call English spiritual insight meditation. So then followed by this text, and I want to go through this section. Has Vipassana has 2 sections. One is the analytical section, and one is like resting mind. So it's very important. This teaching. I mean, the section is one. Sorry about I have background noise, so. Okay, so the 2 section we have, and we're going to go both sections this time. Last time I shared a couple of times this Vipassana. We went to only rest and mind section, not that much talk about this analytical sections. So tomorrow, I'm going to share these both sections. So we going to first is the analytical section. So it's here. In Buddhism, it is taught that we need to learn from a realized master, and when we have to study this, Vipassana, we have to learn this teaching first. We have to know. Without the knowledge, is obstacle. So that's why here says, we have to know, we have to learn this. Learn from a realized master means actually, not the meditation realizer. This means like actually teacher who have, knowing knowledge, intellectually knowing knowledge. And this point to the importance of seeking teachings, because the reason is we have to know this all the Buddha's different, the teaching, and especially you will have to learn this analytical section. It is through listening to many teachings and reflecting on the meaning that we drive with the pure view we will be integrating in our Vipassana meditation. So we have to learn, the many different teachings. We have to know the true view. So Vipassana is a view. We have to know the view. And that's why we have to, use our knowledge, and we have to investigate and have to understanding clearly what we're doing, Otherwise, not knowing is also obstacle too. So then it is the lack of sufficient knowledge of the teaching. So if we don't know the teaching, then that is the obstacle that presents in impediment to vipassana, literally seeing beyond. So vipassana means seeing beyond. Seeing beyond, I already also mentioned, like not conceptual mind, beyond the conceptual mind. And also seeing beyond is not dualistic concept. We usually, our this conceptual mind, no seeing, no recognize. So vipassana means you have to go beyond in that. Then vipashana or seeing beyond means looking deeply into the suchness nature. So vipashana means we have to looking into our own nature. This Mahayana tradition, Mayamika tradition has shamatha and vipashana. Then Vajrayana tradition we have Mahamudra. But Mahamudra and Vipassana is actually same essence, same meaning. When we share this, teaching and slightly different, because this Vipassana has also an intellectual part, and also when we meditate, like sometimes like Vipassana goes a little bit more explanation, I think, and Mahamudra just go directly to the resting mind. So Mayamika, they don't talk about Dzogchen or Mahamudra. Mayamika, the Dzogchen, Mahamudra is same meaning is in the Vipassana. So the Vipassana, usually we hear the Vipassana, but in the reality, truth, Vipassana in the text is big different. And Vipassana in here, you're going to learn, so we know here, it is actually is Dzogchen, very high view and meditation. So that's why here says seeing beyond means looking deeply into the suchness nature. We're looking onto our own nature mind. Looking deeply into the suchness nature is not shamatha. Shamatha not really looking into our suchness nature mind. So we only just mind, calm down and relax, create a good peaceful and release thoughts. So Vipassana means looking into the nature, suchness nature. So think about the example, like we have a very dirty water. If I use like this bottle of water and put lots dusty, if I shakes, then you cannot see the water because it's already dusty and so other, not clean. And then we have to live like this, no shaking leaf and all the dust is like going subtle and clean. So that is the same as the shamatha meditation. Then you seeing the water clearly, transparently, you can see the water. So that is called vipassana. Vipassana means they're looking into own nature. Without a shamatha meditation, we actually hard to look into our own suchness nature. Because if you're thinking about the water is dirty and so much dusty, and then you cannot see the water. And water cannot see the transparency. So then water is become clean, and then you can see water is also transparency. Go, top to bottom, we can see the water very clear. So that's the same as a vipassana. And we have to clean our first thoughts. We have to release our own thoughts, emotions. And then, we can look into our own nature. So that's the Vipassana. Vipassana has two aspects. And one is called analytical or discursive meditation. So another is called non-conceptual meditation or resting mind. Today, first we have to go to this analytical or discursive meditation. Non-conceptual meditation or resting mind is actually same as Dzogchen, what I shared the teaching before, and Mahamudra teachings is all same. So now first is analytical discursive meditation, meditating on the selflessness of the person, the first. And the second is meditating on the selflessness of phenomena. This analytical has two sections. This both is very important. First I'm going to share, meditating on the selflessness of the person. The person is just the continuum of our aggregates, skandhas, including our mind, or rather this sense of a thinker, a person who is feeling and emoting, this movement of the mind. So first we have to know the person. Usually we say I am, I am or you, and we pointing to the person. So who is the person? The person is our aggregates, so-called far aggregates is called the person, including our mind together. So, or rather, this sense of a thinker. See, then also person who has feeling and emoting, and also this movement of the mind. So that's what we usually call the person. But this is actually also called delusion, not truly exist. So that's the reason we have to meditate selflessness of person. If the person is truly inherently exist, then we cannot do meditate selflessness of person. Even we meditate, it's no possible to achievement. So that's the reason. First, this is analytical. So we have to really look to ourselves. We really exist or not. If we are truly inherently exist, then not possible to realize the selflessness of person. So that's why right now we're going to investigate the person is exist or not. So talk about the far aggregates is called form, body, feeling, perception, mental formations, consciousness. So that is called five aggregates. And this five aggregates is temporary. It is compound together. I mean, it's dependent each other. So that's why if we investigate, no exist. If we don't investigate, just live, then we have person and I is exist. But that is cannot say truly exist. The reason is that if truly exists, then you use logic, investigate, you have to find. But we use logic, investigate, we cannot find. That means like the person is just same as like delusion and dreaming, and just like relatively, we have a person and I and the self, but truly the person is not exist. Relatively, we call the person is a far aggregate. So what I already mentioned about up there. Then we are fixating and clinging to the person as being as a permanent singular entity. So everyone has right now, we have 5 aggregates. So then we are fixation to that and clinging to that. So then that's why we call I and self. Is we really think we I am exist. So then we know like I means only one. So the I is a permanent singular identity as being me or and I. Is known as the self of the person. So we know that is called the person, that's called I or subjective mind. But here is we're not talking about relatively, we don't exist I and the self. Relatively, delusionally, we have I and the self because due to our self clinging. And so that's why we have this, singular entity being and me or I. So we have a couple classes here going on. 1 minute. And subjective mind. Okay. So then, from the construction of self come the emotional poisons. So see, we know, so like we just know, so like we have 5 aggregates, and as long as we clinging to that, then emotions arise from the constitution of a self come emotional poison, because we have I, and then due to that attached to ourselves, and due to that then hatred to others. So that's why emotions arise. From the emotion poison comes, then emotion poison create karma. From the karma comes the suffering. The due to the karma then create suffering. Why we are suffering in samsara? Because due to our own karma. The karma, suffering karma means like created by emotions. So long as the cause is emotion, the result karma is a suffering. That's called negative karma. And without emotion create karma is called positive karma, result is a happiness. So we can create a karma without emotion and with emotion. Without emotion, karma is called causes of happiness. It's positive karma. With emotion created karma is called negative karma, causes of suffering. So therefore, the root of all suffering and all negativity is the self or the subjective mind. In other words, it comes down to error known as mental states. So then the self is what we call the body, the constitutional elements, and the sense of fears. But the person is not the essence of the aggregates and the thinking and the like. But that is, we think the person and the self is like 5 aggregates, but truly, actually, person is not the essence of the aggregates and the like. Why? This because the aggregates and the constitutional elements are impermanent and are a combination of many parts. See, so we're talking about like thinking about I and the self is only one permanent entity. Okay, so 5 aggregates is not one. So 5 aggregates is it is 5 first. Then 5 aggregates also impermanent and also combination many of many parts. So think about our form body. The form body is impermanent and also combination of many parts. So then how can be our body is a self? Because the self is one, the body is many part or particles. Self is permanent, body is impermanent. So that's the reason if we use logic investigate, body cannot be self. Feeling cannot be self. So far aggregates cannot be self. This has a contradiction each other. We recognize because self means only one permanent entity. So far aggregates means many parts or particles. This person is seen as a permanent and a singular entity, a concept which we impute onto something else. However, this person cannot really be said to exist as what we think it to be or as anything else. So we usually think I and the self exist, but use logic investigate, then is said to exist as what we think it is true, be or as anything else, not truly exist. Persons not truly exist. This is because the person is not any other thing or entity. So that's why Heart Sutra Buddha mentioned about no eye, no nose, no ear. He mentioned about all the bodies. No means it's not truly exist. So the I is no self, and your nose is no self, your ear is no self, your hands is no self. So that's the we look to our all the part of body, self is no exist. So why self is not exist? Because if you look to really investigate, self is not exist. Therefore, the unique uncautioned assumption of me and mine is nothing but a delusion. So this is the intellectually, we recognize self-I is a delusion. Intellectually, we can approve and use logically, we can approve. But also, when you meditate, like you really feel that you recognize. We look into ourselves, I cannot see I and the self. So you don't see that, and then you recognize your whole body is empty because there's nothing inherently exists in there. Long as you feel that, you can release all your emotions. We can release so many problems, fixations. We can release our all fears. The fear is due to also self-grasping. So you see I and self is not exist. The fear also naturally release. And no here is like intellectual part. So my room has one monkey here. Make it a little bit noisy. So yeah, so that's why like self is you investigate no exist, but when we meditate, looking to ourselves is a really beautiful meditation. When we have also fears, anger or emotion arising, or jealousy arise, you look to yourself, and you cannot find yourself. The jealousy, anger, fear all naturally dissolve into the emptiness. So then also when you have like fears for the spirits, and some people has really strong fears for the spirits, and you meditate selflessness of person, the spirits and the obstacles actually cannot detect it, or like you cannot hold it there because you're already emptiness. So why the obstacle can penetrate it? The reason is because due to ourself and I and me, and then fear arise. due to that, then also the spirits and obstacle beings can create obstacle to us. But when you meditate selflessness of person, this obstacle beings cannot create obstacle. Spirits cannot follow you, cannot hold you, cannot attach to. They cannot do anything with you because they cannot hold. You are no target. So we are create a target for obstacle because due to our self-grasping. And so meditate selflessness of person, that moment, the spirits or obstacle beings cannot detect it or cannot target. So we should investigate in this way. Then we have to investigate in many different ways. In the same way, we should try to understand concepts and emotions. So we have to know emotion and the concepts. And this is intellectual. It's intellectually investigate and use logic, going to approve everything's emptiness. So which are expression of the inner subject of the mind. Look directly at the concept or emotion. So now we have to, should try understand here says a concept and the emotion. We have to know where is the emotions come from. Which are expression of the inner subject of mind. Okay, so this emotion is come from mind or not. So we have to use analytical investigate. Here says, okay, look directly at the concept or emotion. So we have to look to our emotion. And sometimes in this, analytical meditation or resting mind meditation, meditators create emotion. And created emotion, then look to the emotion. Sometimes look into emotion means we don't have emotion, we cannot really look to emotion. So that's the reason the meditators, practitioners create the anger like fire, strong, jealousy or anger or pride or anything, attachment, create very strong, and then look into that. So that means long as we create our emotion, we have to control, If we cannot control our own emotion, then we cannot create our own emotion. So if you cannot control your emotion, you cannot create emotion. Okay, as long as you can control our own emotion, we have to create emotion, then have to look directly at the concept or emotion. Try to see if it has a form or a shape. So look to the emotion. The jealousy has form or shape. Anger has a form or shape. So we have to look to that. Deeply and carefully look to see where did the emotion come from. Then look to the emotion. Also we have to see the emotion. And then also we have to analytical use where is emotions come from. And also we have to look where it is located and where does it go. So where emotion located, where is be, and where is emotions going. So when your emotions dissolved, you have to look to where it's go. First, in the present awareness, you have a mind. And suddenly out of this mind, a thoughts or emotion arises. Try to see the following. So first, see, in the present awareness, you have a mind means our awareness have to watch our own emotion. And suddenly out of this mind, a thought or emotion arises. Try to see the following. So use our own awareness have to look to our own emotion and the thoughts. Where is it come from? Where is it going? Where is it abide? So then, did it come from mind? We have to think. It's emotion, thoughts. It is come from mind? One question. So many say yes, but also incorrect. Even you say no, also incorrect. This section is complicated. You don't have answer there. Yes, no, both are incorrect. The reason is your mind is not exist. That's why you cannot say emotion is come from mind. Emotion itself also not exist. That's why we cannot say emotion is come from mind too. So then or something outside of the mind. Okay, so the first question is emotions come from mind. Second question is then something outside of the mind, not come from mind, come from somewhere else, emotion. Okay, is it one with the mind? Is it one with the mind, or it is separate from the mind? So emotions are coming with mind together, or emotions come from separate from of the mind. These are the questions. Can you hear, right? Can you hear? Okay. Then if you conclude thoughts or emotion are true mind, then we say, okay, if you conclude thoughts or emotions are true mind, as sunbeams are to the sun, it is a fallacy. Because the sun and its rays shine simultaneously. So emotion thoughts is come from mind. If you accept that, the same is like sun and sunbeams. So as sunbeams are the sun, it is a fallacy, means like this cannot be, because sun and sunbeams are together, simultaneously together. Simultaneously together chance. So sun and sunbeam is simultaneously together. That means like cannot be cause and result. Simultaneously together cannot be cause and result. So cause have to go first, then result means come after. So emotions come from mind, then mind come first, because mind is the cause, emotion is the second. Result have to come. They cannot be together, simultaneously cannot be together. So see, sun and sunbeam cannot be correct example, because the reason is the sun and the sunbeams are shining simultaneously together. If you include the mind and the thoughts, the mind and the emotions are one, how are they one? So that the point is like emotional mind cannot be separate. Also, emotional mind cannot be one. It is that mind appear as thought. It's the whole they are one. So see, mind appear the thoughts and the emotions. How can be mind and the emotions one? If they are one, they cannot, or mind cannot appear to the thoughts. So reason is like whatever says incorrect here. So that's I already mentioned about it. You cannot say yes and no, either is incorrect. The reason is mind and the thoughts both are not exist. If they are exist, then you can have an answer say yes or no something, but both are emptiness. then you cannot say yes and no. Is the whole they are one. So, or it is it that thoughts are merged with the mind. Thoughts is merged with together mind. Mind. If you conclude that mind and the thoughts are not one, so mind and thoughts cannot be one, try to investigate. Try to examine how they are different and so forth. Mind thoughts cannot be one, cannot be separate. So examine how they try to see where do the forms that appear come from. So we have to look where is the form is it come from. Do they come from the mind? So that's the another way to mind and the thoughts we have to investigate. Mind thoughts cannot be one, cannot be separate. The reason is mind and the thoughts are both are not exist. If the mind is truly exist, then you say, okay, the thoughts, emotion, source is mind, but mind is not exist. It is emptiness, so cannot be source, thoughts, and emotion. And then also here is another form, what appearance also cannot be mind. Now try to see where do the form that appear come from. Do they come from the mind? Should the form follow wherever you go? So the form appearance cannot come from mind. If the appearance come from mind, then wherever I goes, this water bottle follow me everywhere. Same, like whatever you see right now in the front of you, wherever you go, so this all object is follow you. So that's why, see, do they come from the mind? Should the forms follow wherever you go? That's a fallacy, incorrect. Okay, so then you think, okay, all these forms not come from mind. That's also incorrect too. On the other hand, if forms do not come from the mind, forms should also continue to appear and be perceived by your corpse, even after you die. See, why we see the forms? Because mind seeing the forms. And mind projected the forms, that's why we see all these forms. So if not, the appearance is not mind, then the corpse also have to see the form. Without the mind, then corpse also have to see the forms. So see, either both are incorrect anyway. If we say all the forms come from mind, also incorrect. We have to say the forms not come from mind, also incorrect. So that's why here, see, if everything come from mind, all the forms follow you. And if you say the forms not come from mind, then when we die, our corpse also have to see the forms. Because the body, why cannot see the form? The reason is the body cannot see the form because of no mind, but it's the forms not come from mind, then body also have to see the forms. So it's logic, the logically approved is either way is incorrect. That means the form also truly not exist, and mind also truly not exist. Both are emptiness. Examine in this way and apply a similar essentially analysis to sound, smell, taste, sight, touch. So we have to use analytical, same is like the form. The song is come from mind or not. If a song is come from mind, you have to hear all the time same song, 24 hours. You cannot hear any other songs. Also, you have to hear one song all the time, 24 hours. So that means the song is not come from mind. And then if songs not come from mind, or also our cope have to hear the songs. So cope cannot hear the songs because no mind. That means like song is either way incorrect. Then smell too. Smell also, you know, if they come from mind, we always have to have a smell all the time, 24 hours, the same smell all the time. Follow if the smell is come from mind. If not the mind, then that body also have to, receive the smell too. So taste, sight, touch, all same. So the point is, this all is delusions, and you really investigate, use logic, analytical. These are not truly exist. Emptiness. So that's why you cannot point true inherently anything their source. And next, do not look at the thoughts. Okay, do not look at the thoughts, emotions, or any of the appearances of the six sense objects. Instead, just look directly and nakedly at the very essence of the mind itself. So now you already investigate your thoughts, your emotion. We already investigate. We already investigate appearances. So we recognize appearances and also emotion, thoughts. They are not exist. We recognize that. If they are exist, then they already logically have a problem. If they are truly inherently exist. Okay. So now we have to look to the mind. We have to investigate our own mind. So problem is we think, oh, my mind exists. So now we're going to investigate the mind. Mind also not exist. Emotion, any over sense object, instant, just look directly and nakedly at the very essence of the mind itself. We look to our mind, there is a vividness, appearance, a presence. Is there is emptiness? Is it more of a clarity or more of an emptiness? So this is the vipashana analytical section. We have to investigate. When you look into your mind directly, then you have to see, oh, my mind's vividness, or my mind's presence, or my mind's empty or clear, or which one is more strong, which is more dominant. You have to look and investigate. But when we're going to rest in mind meditation, all this is incorrect again. Right now it's intellectual session, so we have to use intellectual, we have to investigate using this everything. Then which seems more predominant? So which is predominant? Clarity or emptiness or vividness? Or it is inseparability of clarity and emptiness. So this meditation is intellectual meditation. Use this first. That really helps when we go into rest in mind meditation. Okay, rest in mind meditation. Sometimes we think, why is this correct? We have so much doubt. We don't know why that is a correct meditation without intellectual meditation. So I also mentioned about many times. I think when I was young, first I have teaching is rest in mind meditation from Khenpo Minser. So he shared the teaching. It is Dzogchen, rest in mind. That time I didn't study Maya Minka, so when I receive teaching, really I don't understand why that is correct. Why we have to stay like this, So you study then my Yaminka teaching, okay, so makes more clear and understanding, okay, yeah, reason is okay. So you take you to there, the point is like, introducing correctly. So sometimes, we talk about like, okay, Mahamudra Zoki meditation is directly pointing instruction. You can share, talk to student and meditate. But without this intellectual, Mayamika still people has dropped. And sometimes we have drops, we don't know why, like no answer for ourselves. So that's the reason this intellectual really clarify our doubts. Make sense for your what you're doing. You know what you're doing, correct. So purify your doubt, clarify your thoughts and doubts. So then here also see examining, by investigating and examining in this way. The great meditator will eventually reach the point where he or she will not get trapped in the web of doubt and skepticism, and will make great strides in his or her practice. This is the reason why we should examine in this way. So here is examine is intellectual is a very short section. This short section is we go to meditate retreat. We have to use this intellectual first. Retreat people. This one is actually very essential part for the people who go into retreat. Still not enough, philosophy, Buddhists like talk about the philosophy and use logic, investigate. This is still not enough, very short. This one is only, meditators. So use this is that really helps. This what we share is if you really learn this, really helps your, here also says like not to get trapped in the web of doubt and skepticism. Really helps for the person. But still, if someone really want to become philosophy, this intellectual here what we share is not enough. This one has only one person intellectual section. This is only for the meditators what really need, and come from some bit instructions, short sections are collected here. When I compose this stage of meditation, especially this in Vipassana section, Vipassana is this one is more elaborated, more explained, and also try to get a very short point. Different teaching. I read many different teachings. Which ones really make sense? What we really need, I put here. So meditators using. Then also this, some the meditator teachers, use this short section intellectual part are collected here. Many sections. So very important, and will make great stride in his or her practice. This is the reason why we should examine this way. Next, then second for the selflessness of phenomena. So that's what we talked is called selflessness of person. And the point is I, self, is not exist, truly not exist, inherently not exist. But then we have I and the self is called delusion. That's why we all create this ourself is suffering. So long as we know self is I is not truly exist, is extremely beneficial and very powerful. When we have fears, look to ourselves, then I self is not find. It's kind of you fear is your form is delusion. The fear is can release. We have dealing with so many problems every single day. The life always have problems. So then you due to your problems, you have a stress out, unhappy, sad, many this suffering is arising. So you look to yourself, investigate yourself. I and the self does not exist. You recognize, you look to your mind, and then chant the supplication Tara, the first sentence say like we have Ambon Dharma Dart. Ambon means like I and the self is Ambon, not true exist. Then you look to yourself, Ambon Dharma Dart. You play many times yourself, and you really feel your emptiness. And then you can visualize yourself Yadam deity. You can visualize Yadam deity in front. We have ability to do meditate. Long as we don't know the selflessness of person, visualize the Yadam deity ourself is not possible. Because when we have self I, how can visualize the Yadam deity? Yadam deity is a selflessness of the selflessness is arising the Yadam deity. So that's why I use this supplication Tara, the first sentence. Ambon Mother Dharma Dharta. So it's same, selflessness of person. This one is intellectual part. When you meditate, you look to yourself, you really feel your emptiness. And then you can release all the fears. Emotion also naturally release. Then you have ability to meditate the Yidam deity too. So next is we're going to investigate the selflessness of phenomena. Meditate in this way. Phenomena refer to the outer phenomena and to the inner subject of mind. So in this one is not investigating your I and self. This one is called selflessness of phenomena means we investigate all the object. So we can investigate your fixation object. Example, if you have problem with your car, so then we have to use this intellectual selflessness of phenomena. Recognize car is impermanent, compound of phenomena, emptiness, and family, and job, all these other external, phenomena. Usually we fixation to that. And this selflessness of phenomena means no fixation to the object, external object. So long as we no fixation external object, then mind is liberated, mind is free. So that's here is right now is intellectually going to approving the outer phenomena does not exist. Phenomena refer to the outer phenomena and the inner subject in the mind. That being so, it is the grasping and the fixation to the subject, object, duality of inner subject. See, The rest in mind meditation, Mahamudra Dzogchen, long as you no fixation to the object, no grasping to the object is release itself. It is emptiness. So this is followed by my Yaminka idea. Not only that, first we look to the object, investigate, using intellectually investigating. And the word ought there, that is known as a self of phenomena. So self-phenomena means everything. Everything that falls into the sphere of the self-nature of phenomena is, according to atomic truth, nothing outside of or apart from the mind. So first, all the phenomena is bring to our own mind. So we say this phenomena is no exist, external objects no exist, because all this external object is come from our mind. Nothing outside of or apart from mind. So then you say, oh, before already say this phenomena cannot be mind, already said. But here, the first one we investigate to the selflessness of person. This one is a phenomena. This phenomena is everything is come from mind, no externally inherently exist. The mind also itself is emptiness. So then subject, object, both are emptiness. So that's here is going to prove, use logic. This can be shown when you try to deconstruct any phenomena down to the subtlest atomic level. See, we have to investigate the object, is subtle atomic level means like where is our head? So then your head, this eye, nose, where is the head? You cannot find the head. So then we say, oh, this forehead is head. Forehead has many directions, then you cannot find the forehead. So this one is called subtle atomic level, means like come down to the very subtle level. Each time you deconstruct it into parts, when you examine the subtlest level of phenomena to find our inherent essence, so we come to very subtle level also cannot find phenomena to find inherent essence. You can never find any essential nature, cannot find anything truly inherently exist. If you investigate, think about your car. Where is the car? Tire is not a car, engine is not a car, and door is not a car, window is not a car, seat is not a car, and then you investigate, cars you cannot find. Then also you cannot find actually your tire, car's tire, have 4 tires, car, but you investigate 1 tire, then it's take out all these part of pieces, cannot find the tire. So always go down to the subtlest, then cannot find anything exist. You can never find any essential nature. From time without beginning, though forms and such are not truly real. So these things not truly inherently exist is unbeginningless time until now. We know knowing that. So not only use logic, investigate making everything's emptiness. Everything's emptiness and beginningless time until now. We didn't know that. So that's why from time without beginning, though form and such are not truly rare. Even you investigate the forms or these forms phenomena is emptiness. We have grasped onto them as though they were. So we, due to our self-grasping, all these phenomena look to rare and exist for us. So in this one's intellectual section, intellectual investigate object is everything comes a subtle level, part of particle. They also part of particle also dissolve to the empty. Nothing truly inherently exists there. So through the meditation, knowing is a little bit different. So through the meditation, knowing emptiness is like long as your mind is no fixation to the object, no grasping to object. See, then we have grasping onto them as though they were. So like due to grasping, this object is like looks like rare. If long as your mind is no fixation, no grasping to any this phenomena object, this form is actually emptiness. Looks like reflection. Moon is a reflection in the water, or this many mountain trees reflection in the water, but not really rare there. So that's what we know. So when we meditate, we see every phenomena, the object we see, but mind is not picking any object, no fixation to any objects. So that moment you feel is emptiness. There, whereas forms and other phenomena only appear as if in a dream. So, whereas forms and other phenomena only appear as if in a dream. So the dream we appear to all these forms, but wake up, nothing is there. Childlike beings, mind itself is appearing as form and the like, as if those were outside the mind. So we just due to our fixation and the not enough knowledge, then we think this object is rare, outside of the mind. In reality, form and the like are not anything other than the mind's projections. So not any other than mind, because the same is dreaming. All the dream is come from mind, no other than mind. Forms and everything else are unrare. And since mind is not separate from this, mind is also unrare. So all these phenomena is arising from the mind. So phenomena is not truly exist because arising from mind. Then mind also not exist. The reason is since mind also not separate from this. Mind is also unrare. Mind also emptiness. Form and the like appear as many different things, yet they are essentially not one entity, nor are they many entities. They don't have one entity, they don't have many entities. So we don't have one self, we cannot have many self. One is not exist, then cannot be many exist. Since mind is not separate from from all outside of forms and the like, mind too, in essence, is not a singular entity, nor is mind manifold. In this way, when we use wisdom to look deeply into the essential nature of mind, in its autonomic nature, mind cannot be found internally, nor can it be found externally. I think it's very beautiful. We know like minds cannot find externally, minds cannot find internally. Mind cannot be pinpointed anywhere else either. So you cannot pinpoint the mind is like any located your body. There is also no past mind, no present mind, and no future mind that can be pinpointed. Cannot pinpointed like past, present, future is not there. In its arisings, mind does not come from anywhere. In its cessations, mind does not go anywhere. When look for mind, there is nothing to be located, nothing to show, no form to it at all. So not at all, no cannot find anything there. Just look directly into the true essence of the mind. Then we have to look to our mind, not ready to go, the resting mind. So if you're cooking the food, you know already going to the shopping and you get in the, chopped already vegetable or whatever you're cooking food, you already chopped the food and already cooked. Same, like intellectually, we done everything, going to done. Just look directly into the true essence. Then we have to go directly look into the true essence. Like same as like we already cooked the food, no have to eat. Same this one. First, intellectually understand clearly, then have to rest in mind. This vividly present awareness. What exactly is it that is there? Is it is body or it is mind? If there is mind, if mind exists, there must be something there, right? So still you think if something find is mind or no mind. But it is like. So that still, we have to investigate the mind. The mind is like you see clear present, but they have sharp, they have like something, there's still essence true there or not. Does it have form or shape or color and such? Where in your body does it reside? Is it is outside, inside, or in between? So mind is like become very in the body, like inside or outside, investigating. Mind beginning, middle, or end cannot be seen, cannot be identified. Thus, when you are investigating with wisdom and you do not see any rare essential nature of all phenomena, do not get caught up in the conceptualization of this not seeing by thinking. Is form permanent or impermanent? Is it empty or not empty? It is defined or undefined, and so forth. Or we have to use this intellectual investigate. Avoid conceptualization of feelings or sensation. Avoid conceptualization of perception. Avoid conceptualization of the mental formations. Also, avoid conceptualization of the consciousness. Like that, use your, wisdom or to contract whatever the object of the investigation. When use this or investigating, when the yogi or yogini come to the point in which no essential nature of the object can be apprehended in the autonomic nature. So that the point then we cannot find anything. There is the time to enter into conceptual samadhi. So now we already go into conceptual meditation, non-conceptual meditation, non-conceptual samadhi. After you have used your wisdom and intellect to look deeply into the true essential nature of any object of focus, such as form and so forth. When you enter into meditative stability, okay, what is meant when you enter into meditative stability? What is meant here by meditative stability is not abiding in form or anything. So the point is like here, our meditation stability. The meditation stability means like we really knowing the mind is not abide any place. Not stuck any place outside or inside, outside of phenomena inside our own body. That means like here by meditative stability is not abide in form or anything. Meditative stability is not abiding in this world or anywhere between this world and the next. Not to be with our body, not be with outside. Since there is no point of reference that can be identified as form or anything else, this is the meditative stability beyond reference point. So right now what I'm sharing here, the Vipassana intellectual, this is these teachings are followed by the called Kamalashila. The Kamalashila is the Shinda Rakshita Kenshin Shiwanto's disciple. So Kenshin Shiwanto is with Pema Sambhava came to Song Depth together. So Shinda Rakshita, sometimes we call Shinda Rakshita, is a Sanskrit. Tibetan we call Kenshin Shiwanto. So Kenshin Shiwanto, he spread Dharma in Tibet. He all the translation, with the Pema Sambhava, the teachings translation to the Tibetan language. He bring all the monks, like ordained monks tradition, the vows. They always come from the Kenshin Shiwanto. So his disciple is Kamalashila. When Kenshin Shiwanto he passed in Tibet, when he passed, he prophesied to the king. He said, I'm going to pass. So when I pass, after many years after, my view has debate. It's become many doubts. So he told the king, during that time, you have to inviting Kamalashila. So Kenshin Shiwanto told the king, he's my student in India. He only can help clarify all the meditation obstacle problems. So then Kenshin Shiwanto passed away. The Hashang is the monk. Also, he has so much knowledge. So he teach the meditation teaching. So he didn't use this intellectual part. He used the history. He says like just meditate means like don't think anything, stay. Don't think anything. You don't need to think. You cannot have to think positive. You cannot think negative. Just don't think anything. Stay. So many meditators stay that way. So they don't have any experience, I think, and also incorrect with the Shinda Rakshita, the Kenshin Shiwanto, what he shared is not to become same. Shinda Rakshita sharing this intellectual and also Vipassana is a seeing mind nature, not only just not thinking anything, use awareness, I think. So those like this Hashang, he didn't use awareness. looking to our own mind means you have to use your awareness. And also have to use this intellectual part. So that's why the king then recognizes the meditator has problems. So that's why he invited Kamalashila. Kamalashila come to in Tibet. He wrote a couple of books. He also debated with the Hashang, and he subdued the Hashang, and he wrote many meditation books. So when he wrote the meditation book, and he used lots of these intellectual sections, and also when rest in mind, he created many bodhicitta, loving kindness practice together. So not only just not thinking. So that's put all these sections. Mostly is come from Kamalashila. These sections. Okay, so that's why this why is known as the meditative stability of sublime wisdom. So now as we go to Vipassana, two aspect, analytic or discourse and meditation, non-conceptual meditation, rest in mind. So now is a rest in mind session. Having thus truly examined the selflessness of the person and the selflessness of phenomena until there's nothing else to look at, then we don't have to investigate. You really know the suchness of nature, not just like you not thinking anything stay. If you don't give you this training first, intellectual, you just telling someone don't think anything, just stay. People can't stay. Because they don't know why we have to stay like not thinking anything. That's mentally torture become. You share this intellectual approving mind is emptiness, all this phenomena is emptiness, selflessness is emptiness, selflessness of phenomena. Then you say, okay, stay in the emptiness. So then the person understanding why I have to stay. So why is it that is true, correct? Because they knows like I'm going back to the true nature. So now time is, I think, is finished, right? Yes.
It's another 30 minutes, Kempo.
Oh, another 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
Reached to the 9 o'clock, so that's why I thought it's finish. Okay, so I'm going to little bit share from here. Tomorrow I'm not sure I can exactly get right timing because sometimes we have next section, so extra. So could be a bit right time, same as today, could be not, we don't know, okay? Can be a little bit late, not that much. If I'm a little bit late, so then you have to use this the rest in mind section, a little bit meditate before I come. So I share a little bit this section. No, then also I think many Sangha knows. Right now I'm in the Sharavasati. So Sharavasati is very important Buddha's side, or the holy place. The reason is when Buddha enlightened, and after he come here in the Sharavasati, he stayed 30 years. And many teachings he share in this place. So the couple years ago, some collections, when Buddha stay in the Sharavasati, he's sharing some short instructions, like some is like five, the one verses, or like couple like 6 verses, 5 verses, like that kind of very short sections. Somebody created like collection together. I think His Holiness Chesan created a collection together. So I can share that. It's really beautiful next time. Tomorrow we can follow meditation and first I have to log that book. I have to find, if I found the electronic copy, I can share with you everyone. And then follow this resting mind meditation and also share that one this week and the next weeks. So I think it's very good to share that because now I'm in here this Sharavasti and people knows what Buddha talked here. But he talked a lot of teachings here. We cannot share everything, but some very short, beautiful words, collections. Okay. Then one natural interest state beyond concept and beyond analysis, state of oneness, beyond expression, without any fabrication. So now they're ready to meditate. You don't have to anything investigate. So now one natural interest are state beyond concepts. So now we, going enter into our own nature home states, actually. Dharma Dhartu, sometimes we call Dharma Dhartu. That is our own nature home. One natural enter, we're going into our own nature Dharma Dhartu states. So that is beyond concepts. Then if we go into that nature states, no conceptual, beyond concepts, and beyond analysis, then you cannot use intellectual because it's already beyond an analysis. A state of oneness beyond it, that is called state of oneness. In that state is all is called Dharma Dhatu state, is oneness. Beyond expression, so beyond the conceptual, beyond the words, without any fabrication. No, pointing object or subject and object. We cannot really use words to explain in that state. So that's without fabrication. Thus meditate in Krab's clarity, resting in the suchness nature itself. So resting in the suchness nature itself. So now this is the same, Dzogchen Mahamudra. They're also using same words from here in Vipassana. So that's why Jigten Sunggu mentioned about three grades. Three grades is like Mayamika, Dzogchen, Mahamudra. Three grades, great or bigger ones. There, three of them, Jigten Sunggu say, is one if without fixation grasping. If long as you have fixation to Dzogchen, fixation to Mahamudra, fixation to Mayamika, then these three also not going into suchness nature. It's become dualistic. So the point is we cannot attach to, like say, my practice is Dzogchen, my practice is Mahamudra, my practice is Mayamika. So that means like we are attached to the view. And as long as attached to the view, these three of them are become, it's conceptual, not the beyond the conceptual. So that's why thus meditate Krab's clarity, resting the suchness nature itself, abiding in this state, remain in the continuity of mind without distraction. So when we meditate, we have to stay. Our nature requires in this state to remain. Remain in the continuity means like always be in that state of mind without distraction. So the without distraction is today we have this transmission teachings, like the teachings come from Jigten Sungwo. It's very beautiful how to remain in the continuity of mind without distraction. So he mentioned about even you are walking, even you are cooking, even you are, like we said, driving the car, or whatever you're doing activities, remain in the continuity of mind without distraction. So then, long as you can do or be that state, then that person is called practitioner, meditator. So we have to sorry, 1 minute. It's too cold. Okay. Sharavasti is very hot, but I'm in cold here. So, a body in this state remain in the continuity of mind without distraction. So this, long as we have mindful awareness, so you always can, I think we always can go back to in this our, suchness nature itself. So when you're eating, even you're eating, when you eat, if you're not talking any other people, right? And when you eat, you really can go back to your own suchness nature you're eating. The eating is like you feel is like become offering to, like your yadam deity, your own yadam. So that's why in this is a vipashana, and the Tibetan Buddhists actually, of course, the Vajrayana tradition, vipashana, and the generation stage, yadam deity meditation stage, actually bring together. When we meditate, we use together. So how to use together? Like your mind is your mind, no conceptual thoughts. So resting in this suchness nature itself, and your mind is abide in that state, and then you look to yourself, you visualize, your form is yadam deity. You just think about the deity that become your naturally rising. Your form is deity. You feel that because your mind, the most important is like we visualize ourselves as yadam deity means the mind have to resting in the suchness nature. Our mind have to abide in the state, remain in that continuum of mind without distraction. Then you think about the yadam deity, you rise yadam deity, you eat then food, you really feel the eating food is offerings. Eating food is become called ganachara, so offering. And then that time, whatever you eat, no negative, even you eat meat, it's called ganachara offerings. It's very powerful practice. So that's why we said like negativity or positivity. Is the object didn't have negativity and positivity. The depending our own ability can be negative and can be positive. Someone eat meat, example in this state. What I mentioned about your mind is be in the nature itself, in a body in that state. Then without any distraction, you just that moment think about the yadam deity. You feel is you become yadam, and whatever you eat, even you eat the meat, the meat is become offering, soul offering. Is then the animal also you really benefit. So the way eat meat is like become positive karma, not negative karma. So without this ability or without this meditation practice, then eat meat is a negative. So you be in this state, then you walking, eating, even you are lay down in your bed, or whatever you're doing activities, it's become very powerful. Also, I mean, it's like you're maintaining your practice and using awareness. So that's is called remain in this continued mind without distraction. So we have to use this, the importance instruction have to bring all mindful. Think about this, then even you taking the shower or whatever you're doing, like you really can go back to your own nature. So non-conceptual rest and meditation, when you are new to the meditation, so if we are very new to meditation, then how we can, use this instruction as you look nakedly at the mind. So here, the most important is without the shamatha meditation, very hard to go into this state. The last week, we did shamatha. We share the meditation is focus with the object, focus with the breath. Then we didn't use any object. I think you remember that. The last shamatha, we didn't use any object. I just use example is like drone camera, like drone camera is in the ground, is like ground is a support. But take off, ground, and embed in the space. Drone camera is embedded in the space. But the camera is still not taking picture, but no camera is like not looking to, like camera is looking to yourself. Camera is just the direction is other side direction, opposite side of our direction, and the front direction go that direction. The camera don't see yourself. Drone camera, yeah, camera see other side, but you don't see yourself. So the camera is up. That is I told you the shamatha, last shamatha meditation. So vipashana means drone camera is turning to yourself, looking to yourself. Okay, so that is the vipashana means like the thing about drone camera is the same as like our own awareness, mind awareness. No, it's looking to yourself, like camera is facing to ourselves. You see yourself. We use our own awareness, have to see ourselves. What do we have to see ourselves? Not only body seeing, like no body is like your this eye can see your body, but mind awareness looking to our own mind. You can close your eye. This, that's why this eye cannot, this eyeball, you don't have to see yourself. Your mind for awareness have to see ourself. What is ourself? Is our own nature. Okay, so then you are new to the meditation. As you look nakedly at the mind, means like use our awareness, have to look into our own nature mind. Nakedly at the mind means no thought, not seeing anything rare in nature. So then you don't see anything rare inherently existed in there. So then you will have the experience of being in this state of entitylessness. We look into ourselves, you don't see anything rare, true exist. Everything's emptiness, mind is empty, clear, present. Okay? So you will have the experience of being in this state of entitylessness. Then just let your awareness rest naturally in this state. So then we just meditate in this state. Relax your awareness there means like, we have to relax our own awareness there. So that's the when you just let your awareness rest naturally in this state, relax your awareness. That means like we have to need really relax. Vipassana shamatha is difference is shamatha need tight up. So when you meditate, not let arise thoughts. Stop the thoughts. Shamatha, we have to stop the thoughts. Vipassana, no stop thoughts. You need to relax. Your mind need to relax. Our body needs to relax. And they arise thoughts. I think let arise thoughts. No stop thoughts. No rejecting. No accepting. Right. So same as Mahamudra what we share. No rejecting means no stop thoughts. No accepting means no follow the thoughts. So what we have to do? Release thoughts. Release it itself. So that's why just let your awareness rest in naturally in this state. Relax your awareness there. In this clarity of awareness, where there is, then no object of meditation, no point of reference, with nothing to attach onto us unborn, nothing to suppress, nothing to do. In that state, nothing to do, nothing to reach onto us, either empty or not empty. Just rest your mind. So just we have to rest our own mind nature there. So that's become first we are new meditators, Vipassana, and then we have to look directly our own mind. So use our own awareness and have to stay in this nature. So that's the first beginner meditators how to use, explain. So now, I think we can leave it there today. Okay, so I'm also going to finish. I'm going to do dedication. Lord Jenchang, the Loba Naroba, Marba Malareba, Dharma, Lord Gamboba, Pamotoba, Lord Digomba, please bestow upon us most auspicious bless our Kaju Lamas. By this virtue may achieve nations by defeating all enemies confusion. May all who travels on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, death, across the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, that explain the precious mind, where it is unborn may they rise, where it is unborn may they not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray the Lama may have a good health. I pray the Lama may have a long life. I pray that your Dharma activities are purified and wide. I pray that I may not be separate from you. As Majorshri Devero realized the ultimate state, and as did Samantha Bada, I will follow in the path and fully dedicate all merit for all sentient beings. By the blessing of the Buddha who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the true of unchanging as such, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the merit I shall bear fruit. By this virtue collected in the three times, by my seven order beings in samsara and nirvana, and by in the rule of virtue, may I know all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed perfect, precious enlightenment. May the teaching of great Dragom Barana Shri Hussein Nation Lord of Dharma Master of Interdependence, continuing to increase through study, practice, contemplation, meditation, and the end of the samsara. Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Thank you, everyone. So we finish tonight our teaching. Come back to tomorrow. Thank you. Everyone is mute or what happened?
They are unmuted now.
Hello.
Thank you, Kempo.
Thank you.
Teaching.
感恩上师扎斯格雷，
感恩上师。
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
您翻译，谢谢。
Kempo,
enjoy the teachings. We'll meditate
感
while
恩
we
上师
wait for you.，
感恩上师，感恩上师，
Thank you,
You're
Kempo.
感谢。
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank you.
So generous.
Thank you, everyone.
Good.